Well, how true is it that, some of the governors in that part of the region have always placed the group on a payroll to the extent that they stopped this payment? That is why we're seeing this renewed violence from the group.
I think that is extremely speculative. It's speculative, is baseless, and is very, very diversionary and unnecessary. You see, we must trust ourselves. Like I've always said, it's always good to go back to the history of these insurgents. Some people have always come out with a very negative theory that the insurgents were propelled by some group of disgruntled, in quote, politicians from the northern region, so that they will stop a particular to stop the president who comes from a particular region from running the affairs of the country. This is unthinkable. For me, I'm a journalist. I have covered the Northeast. I've interviewed some of these insurgents, in the past. The first major attack of the Boko Haram was actually in 2001, somewhere in a border town around Yobe State. After that attack, they went underground, came back in 2004, attacked somewhere in Borno, a place they call Bama, in 2004. After 2004, they went underground, came back in 2007 and attacked somewhere in Kano. After the attack in Kano, went back. Then in 2009, there was the major attack in 2009 under, the late Mohammed Yusuf. So that major attack actually came to the front burner under a northerner as a president. So it's important that we stop this speculation so that we don't appear divided, we remain united to face this. Look, no governor, no responsible governor that is not insane will propel a group that will attack his own people. As it is now, the government house in Maiduguri will not be safe if the governor supports Boko Haram, for instance. It does not make any rational, it doesn't make any sense for somebody to assume that a governor that is in his right senses will support people that will come after his people and even come after him. Governor Kashim Shettima, for instance, has lost his own relations. If you want to know how the governor supports the military, you find out from the defense headquarters. I remember there was a director of operations at the defense headquarters, Major General Lawrence Indugbani. He was in Maiduguri last year. He said to the hearing of everyone that the support of Governor Kashim Shettima to the military is exceptional. He even went as far as divulging probably what we didn't really expect from him by saying that in addition to hundreds of vehicles and other logistics that the Borno State government provides to the military, the governor works with patriotic community elements to even get high credible intelligence for the military. So no governor that wants to support insurgents would go as far as getting information that will lead to intelligence for the military. Borno State government has provided over 350 brand new patrol vehicles to the military. Borno State government has provided 40 ultra-modern armored personnel carrier to the Nigerian police force. Borno State government pays logistics, provides meals to this military, and anytime a military person dies in combat, Borno State government offers 1 million naira to the families of each and every soldier that is killed in combat. There's no way a government that supports insurgents will do that. So it's a crazy idea, and I think the media has an obligation to fight against it. And you might recall, I said the statement.
I think that's why you're here, because the media cannot actually corroborate that, except
was against this issue of linking the military with Boko Haram. So I think
you don't.
Patriotic, we should fight against this.
In any case, how would you access the emergency in your state? Has it worked? Should it stay? Should it be off?
Well, there are multiple angles to this issue of emergency. You see, until the last 5 months, I will tell you that the emergency was actually working, Because you might recall that there was a time for about 8 to 9 months, there were only pockets of attacks in isolated places, in Borno State and even Yobe. So we actually do not know what actually led to this resurgence. Even though the Boko Haram has always had the history of regrouping, like I said earlier, after the attack in 2001, went underground, came back 2004, went underground, came back 2007, went underground, came back 2009, went underground, and came back in 2011. So they always have that history of going underground to regroup. But then we must give credit to the military, like Governor Kashim Shettima has always said, that the military has actually done well. Maiduguri, for instance, is relatively safe. We have the youth volunteers quite okay, who are doing so much, but the youth volunteers are not armed. Whatever it is that the youth volunteers have achieved couldn't have happened without the military. So I think it would not be fair to say that the military has not done well, particularly prior to the last 5 months. Nobody is calling for the withdrawal of the military. In fact, even the federal government is not at liberty to withdraw the security agencies from any part of the country that is prone to this kind of attacks, because provision of security falls under the exclusive legislative list of the Constitution, which is the sole obligation, of the federal government. So whether there is emergency or there is no emergency, the federal government has an obligation to secure the lives and property of every Nigerian wherever he or she is. So I think the issue of emergency, why a lot of people are talking about this emergency, I think what they are thinking is that there's a need for us to review our strategies. Because you know that if you want community participation to an extent that you might actually want, or maybe to take it to a different level, you might need to create a civil environment, a civil atmosphere. Look at the case of Jos, for instance. You don't have a state of emergency in Jos, but there is relative calm in Jos. Under the previous administration of President Olusegun Obasanjo, Joshua Dare, who was the governor there, was removed. There was a full-blown emergency, or I don't want to say full-blown, I want to even say illegal emergency, because the Constitution does not empower the president to remove any governor. That year was removed, but the problem wasn't solved. Up till about 7 or 8 months back, there were still pockets of attacks in Jos. Today, Jos is relatively calm. So I think...
Well, you never anticipated the insurgents coming to Chibok, because Chibok has never been in line of any attack. Well, are we likely to say we have moved on to see that other schools that are not even in harm's way are being protected from any kind of attack by this group?
Yes, so efforts, experiences mostly call for review of strategies. These efforts are being reviewed, and like I said earlier, there are certain security measures that we shouldn't, divulge. But I can assure you that the military is working very well with the Borno State government and, and the local government areas. So many strategies, so many steps are being adopted with a view to ensuring the security, of most of the schools. Not only the schools, but other areas. Because these insurgents, you must give it to them, these guys are very smart people. They always look at what happened. For me, probably what happened in Abuja was meant to divert attention from other parts of the country, so that they could take advantage of that to hit other places. They might hit school. They have attacked a school in Borno. Just when everybody was talking about missing girls, they attacked somewhere in Bauchi. So these guys are very smart. So, and the military with the Borno State government, they are working very well to take some steps ahead of these guys. So many strategies are being deployed that I cannot divulge. What we need from other Nigerians is continued prayers. We must see, you are in Lagos, you must see what happens in Borno as your own concern. Because if Borno is overrun, these guys will come to other parts of the country.
All right, tell us then, who knows if they're also trying to divert attention from what's going on within the border. We understand there's supposed to be this multinational joint task force, but who knows if they've started work. What can you tell us about activities at the border? Is the youth group also reaching to that area? Are people moving in freely and out between the border for Niger Republic, Cameroon, and Borno?
I think with regards to the issue of border control, I would kindly ask you to direct that question to the Nigerian Immigration Service that controls, the border. With regards to the activities of the multinational joint task force, you might also need to direct that to the defense headquarters. But what I can tell you is that the youths of Borno are highly motivated. The youths of Borno are springing up, just like you had the Arab Spring. They are springing up in every part of the state to defend the security, to protect the other residents, and they are working in conjunction with the military authorities in the states.
Let me drop this before you go. What about the whistleblower function? Do they blow the whistle? Do they report what they've seen, and to who, and how has that been going on?
You see, I was listening to Frank Mba, the first public relations officer, I think on channels or AIT, I can't remember. And he said something that actually interested me. He said some of the security works, it's like a case of a goalkeeper. No matter the number of goals the goalkeeper stops, what people are concerned about is the one that goes, through the net, and he's blamed for it. Look, if there was no whistle blowing, believe me, only God knows what these guys would have done. So many of these attacks have been prevented through an active collaboration between the community members, the state government, and the military authorities. There is so much community participation. Look, the fact that you have youths who are coming to military barracks to support military should tell you that the movement has gone beyond whistleblowing. It is now about physical participation. If youths can go to the extent of carrying sticks to run into a military barrack where gunshots are being exchanged to defend the military, that should tell you that passing information will just be a small deal. So there is so much going on with regards to this whistleblowing.
Give us a moment. We will come back and take maybe one or two encouraging comments, if you will, or comments to find out what else is going on from people who are watching. But we'll go for the headline news with Ayetunde Balogun, and we'll take it from there.